Hello, Urates. Hope you're well. I just thought today we'll start working on the brand new topic that we're covering, which is geometry. And we're looking at our first, thing that we're going to cover, which is congruent figures or congruent shapes. So I'm just going to jump into this with, as normal, I would do a little warm-up. There's a couple of challenging questions on there. I want you to pause the video, give these a shot, answer as many as you can in, say, how long should these take? Say 5 minutes. As many as you can in 5 minutes. Pause the video, give it a go, and I'll go through the answers in a second. Okay, now, assuming that you paused the video and attempted to answer these questions, I'll quickly go through the answers. 2/3 divided by 5/3 is the same as 2/3 times 3/5. So it ends up being 6/15 or 2/5. 2/5 is the answer to the first question. 5 to the power of 3 is 25 times 5 is 125. The third question, if James goes to the movies, they offer 20% off his ticket price. How much will he pay? 20% is 1/5. The 1/5 of $12.50 would be $2.50, meaning that he paid $10. Square root of 121 is 11. Square root of 81 is 9. 3/7 over 3/3 is the same as 3 to the power of 4, which is 81. So yeah, the answers. Let's move on. So go full screen for this one. Okay, so I guess here we're looking at the different ways that shapes can be translated and changed. Essentially what we're looking at here is one of these shapes has been rotated so it's on a different angle. One of these shapes has been translated, which means it's been moved over slightly. And one of these shapes is a mirror reflection of itself. I want you to see if you can have a guess which one's which. So pause it, have a think about which one would be which. Okay, assuming that you paused that and gave it a go. Hopefully you got the first one is a reflection of itself. So it's the exact same shape, but it's a mirror image. The second one is a translation. It's just moved over. Well, it's hard to see really. It looks like it's the exact same shape, but that's called a translation. And then the last one is a reflection, not a reflection, a rotation. So it's moved from the C shape. It's been turned 90 degrees to make that M shape. So this is a bit of APK means accessing prior knowledge. So essentially, this is looking at previously. This is some knowledge that you may or may not have, but it's important to know. So we're going to move on to what we're actually going to talk about, which is congruent shapes or congruent figures. So what does that mean? You've probably never heard of that word before. So for something to be congruent, it means it's the exact same shape and size. So all those examples on the previous slide were the exact same shape and size, they were just in different positions. So if it's reflected, rotated, translated, it doesn't change the shape, it doesn't change the size, therefore it is congruent. The symbol used for congruent is this little equal sign with like a sideways S on top. It looks kind of like a piece of cake. That's the symbol for congruence, and I'll show you how to use that very shortly. Okay, looking at these shapes here, I want you to pause the video and see if you can pick out of each of these boxes which two shapes are congruent. Okay, assuming that you've had long enough to do that, the first one, this shape here and this shape here are the two congruent ones, right? You can tell because they've got the same number of sides. This one is a similar size, but it doesn't have as many sides, so it's not the same shape. This this one's the same shape, but it's too small, so it has to be these two. This one here and this one here, again, the same size, same shape. This one's sort of squashed. This one's too big. This last one, I hope, challenged the field view. It's pretty tricky because it looks to be, or it appears to be, that there are three things that are exactly the same shape here and size. It's actually not. This one in the middle is slanting the wrong way, meaning that it is different, and it doesn't matter if you turn it upside down, it's still going to look different. This shape and this shape are exactly the same, it's just been turned up on its side. So try to imagine what this would look like turned up on its side. It would look a lot like this. This one, the point would be lower and come up sharper this way. Okay, so if you want to say that two shapes are the same, you have to write something called a congruency or a congruence statement. All right? So basically, in particular, we use congruency with triangles, I should say. But when two triangles are considered to be congruent, or they're the same as each other, you can write a congruency statement to say these two things are the same. And essentially, you're saying that these letters match up, and therefore it's the same triangle. So you're going to make sure that you write those letters in the same order. So having a look at these two shapes here, we have this triangle here is the same as this triangle here. It's just been mirrored, right? So if we want to say these are the same, we would say that ABC, which is a triangle, A to B to C, line drawn back to A, it's our triangle here, ABC, is the exact same as A. This little dash means like complement, which is like the mirrored version of C of A. Sorry. So ABC is the same as ABC. I know that might be a little bit confusing, probably because the complements are in there. So let's have a look at this this shape over here. All right. We're saying that the shape A, B, C, D, E is the exact same as the shape P, Q, R, S, T. So as long as the shape is, I guess, in the exact same order, right? You got to figure out what letters match up with what letters, and then make sure that it matches the same order. And it doesn't really matter what order you do this in. If you start at C, did C, D, E, A, B, well then you have to start with the thing that corresponds to C, which would be R in this case, and have R, S, T, P, Q. Doesn't really matter. But it's just saying that these two shapes, starting at A and P, are exactly the same. So this is where these things become useful. Like, okay, we're told that these two triangles are exactly the same, A, B, C, and P, Q, R. We've got to figure out what some of these unknown letters are. So there's an X, a Y, and a Z. Right? Well, the top here says ABC equal or is congruent to PQR, meaning that A matches with P, B matches with Q, C matches with R. So A and P match together, meaning that X would have to be 65 degrees also, because they're the exact same spot. They're the exact same shape. B and Q would also have to match. So the B here is the same as the Q here. So this would also have to be 80 degrees, right? And then lastly, our R matches C, meaning this Z would have to be 35 degrees. That's sort of how that works. It might be a little bit confusing, but to try and help us as well, they have these lines in here. So this single line matches this single line. These double lines here match these double lines. And these triple lines here match these triple lines. Telling us these sides are the same. So the 3 and the 3 match, the 2 and the 2 match, the 1 dash and the 1 dash match. Meaning, this unknown M value is 5 centimeters. All right. So that's congruency. It's essentially saying it's matching the exact same shape with I guess also identifying if it's being rotated and things like that. So it's matching the same shape and the size and all that sort of stuff. All right. That's all that I really wanted to talk about. Nice and short video for today. There'll be a couple of worksheets to do. Get them done and send them to me when you can. Take it easy.